Okay everybody, so today we're going to be playing NostalgiaVille. NostalgiaVille was a mapping challenge run on runthinkshootlive.com between the 27th of April and the 24th of June 2018. So obviously the theme meant that the map had to be set in the early chapters of Half-Life 2. So from the moment you enter City 17 all the way to the coast levels, and it was, the aim was to try and invoke nostalgia, which is quite a difficult thing, and I'll speak about that in a separate video. But we're going to play through the entries here, basically. I know it's been a few weeks. I've actually played this prior, like 3 weeks ago when the Judges and Entrance version got sent out, and then I was away, and now I'm here, now I can record. So, first map is called Metro. Okay, so as I said, I've played through them all, but I'll still try and kind of give a few, pointers and thoughts on each map. I mean, I can't actually remember the majority of them, because as I said, it was 3 weeks ago, and very, very quickly. So this map, this level, went for the obviously the entering City 17 approach, but it had all of the bare bones stuff, like it's got the citizens, it's got the metro cops, and it's got the skeleton of the world basically, but it doesn't have any of the actual meat, if that makes sense. So it's got everything, but it doesn't have a lot of character, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it doesn't do too bad. I guess the buildings are very blocky, and they don't feel authentic in my view. But yeah, I know it's kind of difficult to word, because I did try and record this before and I completely messed up because I had no idea what to say. But I think I got it right with the skeleton analogy. But it's got like the Breencast, it's got the sound that plays when you enter the square outside the train station in Half-Life 2.
I can't take it anymore.
And these people, they'll be saying stuff. So it's got all of the stuff there. Obviously there's not a lot of action at the moment because this is kind of getting you into it. Which is, what I would do is I would still have puzzles and whatnot instead of just walking, because I feel just walking is, we've been there before with Half-Life 2. So adding in puzzles would be much, much better. Okay, so we're getting into kind of the apartment section. Again, this one was quite short, actually, compared to some other ones. But here, there's nothing to stop the player just walking straight on and missing that, and I guess the whole point is to go in here and see these guys pulling up, and it's supposed to be like tense. What I'd do is I'd add a prop here, similar to what I did. I think I added like in my entry, it was kind of a cabinet or something, a wardrobe across the path, kind of pointed towards the door, so people were forced onto one side of the corridor, and almost every single person I saw play it went straight in because they're already on this side of the corridor. So that's what I would have done. Anyway, you're supposed to walk past, they're saying the stuff. And then we're going to get chased. So this chase sequence could go on much longer. I mean, Even the first time I played this, I didn't feel like I was in much danger even from this guy. Because once you're across here, these guys can't get you basically, just this guy can. But there is a chopper over there. Anyway, so we're going to jump down here. Obviously the point is you're supposed to be running across the building like really quickly, and then you're supposed to just jump off. Incidentally, there's a clip player, so it kind of blocks you off. This scanner is super annoying, as scanners are. So here's a nice puzzle that was done in the canals section of Half-Life 2. It was done in Water Hazard. And it was, I think it was very similar to this, where you just have to get the barrels and put them under a platform so it rises. Obviously, the one in Half-Life 2, it was the airboat. Now I think if you move them across this side, it'll be much better, because often I had it at that side and I just couldn't make it up. So it really does depend on whereabouts you put them now. Oh. What? I have no idea what went on there. Anyway, so here we are. We can now get rid of the scanner. What I'd do is I'd make one of the boards break when you pull that out. Just to show that, you know, that's the point. Obviously, not many people playing this will have not played any Half-Life 2 map before, so it's a pointless thing, but it's something that is good to do from a game design perspective. Alright, moving on. There's some obstruction, which is alright. I mean, it's kind of, it's not very authentic. But then there's the addition of exploding barrels, which were a huge part of the beginning of Half-Life 2. In fact, they're a whole part of Half-Life 2 altogether. But yeah, having them is obviously a must. And it just gives the player another option on, you know, how to get rid of the enemies. So here we've got a kind of side area which you could easily just run right past here, but if you're looking for health and ammo, then it's there. So instead of the player just walking along, getting it and coming back, the thing breaks. So it adds kind of an element of surprise. I mean, it's not like the biggest shock in the world, but it's almost certainly something that, you know, something that just makes the world feel living and alive and not static. Also, the inclusion of these slopes was something that was very prominent in the canals chapter. It's quite good, and it gives you these barrels to deal with the barnacles. And as I said in previous videos, barnacles aren't, you know, dangerous at all. It's not as if, you know, they're gonna get you, and you're never likely to die from a barnacle. Very rarely do you actually die from a barnacle. But putting them there just makes you think, oh, there's a chance I could get hindered here, so I'm going to deal with them, and then you go and deal with them the way you see fit, either by barrels, or putting a prop and running under them, or shooting them, or getting caught by them and hitting them with your crowbar. Any one of those things, but there's so much you can do, and they were quite a good invention of Valve's when they created Half-Life. Alright. So we've actually got quite a, I'd like to say lengthy, I mean it's not the longest thing, but it's a fairly, you know, fairly long airboat section. I mean, when I say, yeah, fairly long, it's fairly long for a mod like this, a map like this. So we're just going to run past it. We're going to try and run them down, but I can't be bothered. It does obviously include these things from Half-Life 2. Which you can just run into them. It's all a bit of fun. And then this set piece is actually quite good. It's quite good it's been included here. But it kind of, it gives you the impression that you've got to think on your feet. Obviously, things can go horribly wrong. And I think things have gone horribly wrong. And I've just saved the game. Well, looks like we're going to be running the rest of it. Not to, no disrespect to the map maker, obviously. That's completely my fault, I believe. I just can't be bothered, like, trying to work with saves at the moment. Because this is the second time I've recorded this map. All the others I haven't. Anyway, so just pretend I have the airboat at the moment. Alright, so after that terrible battle, here it has the, you know, kind of these areas, and there were a ton of them in Water Hazard, and I only found out about a lot of them, you know, fairly recently. When I played at the beginning of the year, I hadn't realised how many side areas there were in Water Hazard where you could go. So there wasn't just the one with the weird Vortigaunt at the end, and one every now and again. There's like a lot of them. So it's good that they've been included, and it gives you enough space here with the airboat to go up there, or just to ride straight along here. I mean, obviously this takes a whole lot quicker. It takes a whole lot less time if you have the airboat. I'm not sure about this bit. This bit's kind of, you've got to run up that, and it gets very difficult with the airboat at sometimes, but it was like, it wasn't bad. What we are fundamentally doing is doing a boatless run of this map. Again, no disrespect, and I know it's probably a stupid thing to do, but I just can't be bothered dealing with saves and stuff like that right now. So I do hope I'm not doing this map any injustice. Again, it's completely my fault that I saved it, and I know I could probably go back to save, but I can't be bothered doing that. Wow, I'm really good at dodging the bullets today. I don't have God mode turned on at all. Alright, there we go. That was the airboat section, but ran by me.
Hey! In here! So you got a chopper in on your tail. You want to maybe help us take it down?
So now we've got the final boss battle, and this goes for a very traditional boss battle for what you'd think for NostalgiaVille. I mean, I saw a comment very early on in the contest saying, "Oh, every single boss battle's going to be a chopper battle," and right enough, here we are. And the cool thing about this is that if you look at the ceiling, there we go. The ceiling actually just explodes, which is actually quite a nice touch. And it kind of exposes you to the dangers of the mines. Oh, it doesn't see. Oh, there we go. Where is he? Ah, he's still over there. I may need some more health, at which case I will head back down here. There we go. And this guy celebrates a bit too much.
Something, Doc.
And the map ends, I think. So that was Metro, which, as I said, the start of it could have been more animated and more, you know, had more life to it. And the airboat section wasn't bad if I had an airboat. Obviously, that was just a bit unfortunate at that time. And again, I am sorry. I do apologise for that. And the end battle, it was good that it had the roof breaking, but it was very linear still. And it could have been more spread out, as in a wider space, as opposed to just a narrow bridge. But that was Metro. Okay, so now we're going to be playing entry number 3, called Lone. Alright, this one's called Lone or Alone. Either way, it's a Ravenholm themed map, I believe, from memory. Okay, so there's always a lot to explore in terms of, you know, things, rooms to go into, side passages. And down here, there's some more stuff, and also the head crab coming out from behind is kind of a, you know, oh, there we get the crate for free. Oh no, there's some danger. So it's kind of a good surprise, because you've been rewarded, but then you get wrecked after that. So I mean, head crabs. I think a lot of people are very tired of head crabs and zombies. I don't know how he managed to just, you know, come through the floor, but I won't question that. Anyway, so this door I didn't think can open. Yeah. If you do have epilepsy, I am sorry. It's not doing me very well either. But hang on. So obviously it's super zombie orientated, which, using fast zombies and blackhead crab zombies are really good. They're very diverse creatures, diverse in terms of for gameplay wise, and probably other ways as well. But yeah, using normal zombies a lot. You know, people from experience, people don't like it. Why can't I get up there? I guess we could just do that. Although I think it would be okay, because it looks like you can get up there and get that guy, but. Okay. Now, we've had this before. We had this back in the other one. What was it called? The other challenge. I think that was the one I entered with Cat of War. There we go. A lot easier this time, I have to say. It's a lot easier just to. They've probably got a trigger and, you know, put that in, but disabled it, and then when you put it in you can show it, so. So now it's giving us kind of the other tools that you can use. Obviously in Ravenholm a lot of it was trying to use these razor blades, saw blades rather, and the barrels. Okay, that may not have quite gone to plan. Did I get them all? No, there's still one left. Well. Right. So, right enough, there's a brick in here showing kind of what you're trying to achieve. It's a good kind of teaching mechanic. And then you've got to go around and find all of these bricks. And just to clarify, for myself as well, we are trying to lift this gate up. I just thought I'd mention that. Oh. Oh, it looks like it's been moved up. So there were plenty of bricks to find. Plenty of bricks to find and all that. Alright, there we go. So it's teaching you that these hoppers are dangerous. That's what that is doing. So we're going to obviously come across a lot of them. I don't know what there was. Alright, there that was. Alright, there we go. So that was a good way of luring the player into a false sense of security. Now, if I hit any of my shots, we can get rid of this guy. Okay, so you all know I'm like the worst player, you know. So, as someone once said, you know, because I'm such a bad player, I can't criticize anyone's maps or anything like that. But no. So, okay, that I think is a pretty bad encounter. Just because it's super close range. I mean, I go on and on and on about these Combine soldiers, but here they fire immediately as you open the doors, and the zombies are right there. I mean, it'd be better if this encounter took place further away and the zombies weren't just standing right in front of them before you open the door. But there's a lot of this opening a door and then there's an enemy there, which isn't fun. You know, with this one, with the head crab, you came around the corner. Incidentally, the entrance isn't in front of you. You've actually got to look around. So you're looking around. Ah, there it is. You begin to go over, and as soon as you make it to the entrance, the black head crab zombie comes out. That's a great example of how you zombie combat and how encounters should work. Or in theory, I mean, there's a lot of other ways, but that's just one of the ways of, you know, luring the player into a false sense of security. But this, however, doesn't quite do that. So I've got a factory section. I do like the fact it includes the two factions. It includes Combine soldiers and the zombie kind of classes. And obviously we could have fired the barrel and all that. Anyway, down we go. So it's good to have two different factions fighting, because it kind of shows the world as a bit more dynamic. So I'm sure this guy should probably be firing at us. There should probably be like a trigger here that says if, you know, if player hits trigger, then this guy comes off that. Although, for me, that broke having that trigger there. I can't remember what the issue was, and it was quite a complex one. I was hoping they'd kill that guy, but that didn't seem to happen. Now, part of me feels like this battle should be taking place on a larger scale, because at the moment it's very small, close range scale, and I know that's very much what Ravenholm was about a lot of the time. Not all the time, obviously there was some wide open spaces. But here, this would be so much beneficial on a wider scale. And I think we're out of ammo. Oh, there's some over there. Now that happened to me before. There we go. Yeah, this thing like came across and hit me. There, it did it again. And there's no way for the player to tell where that is firing, and that is like one of these super unfair things that really annoys me. Basically, is the fact you don't know where it's coming from. You can't see it coming. It just, you know, comes behind you, and both times I was here, it got me basically. So I didn't like that battle at all, because it was super close range and could be done on a wider scale. The concept of it was good, but it could have been better, much better. Right. So now we're on the third map. You see, that guy walked out from there. He wasn't just standing there. And I don't know why he walked out there. I guess just showing you the way to go. If you're looking at it, you think, well, where do I go? If there was more detail, then it might get a bit confusing. But here it's pretty easy because, you know, you've got the split in the wall. Oh yeah, this is, you get spammed with a ton of stuff. There's fire, which is something that was explored by this mapper the last time. The last map like this, basically. So we can throw grenades over ourselves while they throw theirs over. So I think we got someone. There we go. Now we've got to somehow make it across, and it just, you know, I don't know why the whole place is on fire. I can't quite see. Maybe like a truck crashed or something like that. I'm just trying to see what's in there, but I can't. Anyway, here what we have is we've got some enemies that cannot get us up here. We are cut off from them, so we can choose to take them out before we jump in. So it gives us a chance to kind of strategize.
Ammunition depleted.
And there's a strider moping about. Oh, I didn't see him.
Laceration detected. Ammunition depleted. Warning. Toxin levels. Dead. Imminent. Vital signs are dropping.
Okay, so now we need to find a way up here, which we can easily do just by climbing. And the good thing is we can jump back across, but we've got to make the jump to get away from these guys. So there's a bit of risk. Like I just demonstrated just there. A bit of risk. I've got to get back up there. But it does reward us. So here... Yeah, the button's not in a very intuitive place. Like, up there isn't intuitive. Like, I know it's sparky over here to draw your attention over here, but even then it's not. It could be just on the console, you could use the lever or anything like that. I think there's a few good levers from the episode 2 pack, and maybe some people were a bit, hesitant about using episode 2 stuff. Okay, so here are some mines. I mean, we've not had a lot of mines. I thought they were going to play a big part in the second map. It does actually give you a way to go around here, which is quite good. Okay, I'm not sure that should be happening. And it's not out in the open. It is out in the open. It's not like in an enclosed space where we could have camped. Although I don't think that layout helped.